Hello, my name is Monique Aigbe, a TV presenter and a radio personality. I was happy when I got a call from the Edo Development Aid UK wanting me to help coordinate the support for palliatives that will be given to the physically challenged in Edo State this period of COVID-19. So we are here at the Salvation Army Benin Rehabilitation Center, home for the children with physical disabilities. They want to find out how they have been faring in this period of COVID-19, how they have been feeding, how they get to come to the town hall meeting, who brings them over, do they live in homes, how everything has been with them. Can you please introduce yourself and your position?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Comrade Edo Henry, and I'm the chairman, Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, Edo State chapter.
All right. How long has this association been on?
For over 8 years now. The Joint National Association is a national front of organization, and it's in all the 36 states of the federation, including the federal capital.
Okay.
Our headquarters is in Abuja, and this is the state chapter.
And is it owned by the federal government?
No. It's an NGO.
All right. So during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, how have you and your team been coping?
Well, basically, I would say it's been hell, because you can imagine how persons with disability will be like, and will feel like in a time like this when everywhere was locked down.
Yeah.
Some of us who had something doing before, because of the lockdown, has to be at home. And again, getting access to health facilities also becomes very, very difficult because of the pandemic. We thank God that so far we've not lost any member from the pandemic, but you can agree with me that the other issues that go with the pandemic, like hunger and can never escape persons with disability. I think that is basically the area where persons with disability have been hit most.
Wow. Okay, so is it being funded by the state government or the federal government?
Well, let me explain very explicitly. The place where we are now is the Salvation Army Rehabilitation Center. The Salvation Army Rehabilitation Center is owned and funded by the Salvation Army, a missionary church. So it is made up of all clusters of disability. We have persons with physical disabilities. Okay. We have persons with visual disabilities. We have persons with hearing disabilities. We have persons with intellectual disabilities. And we have persons suffering from the leprosy deformities. So these all clusters of various disability forms what we call, that's why it's called joint.
Okay.
It's a joint national association.
Now, these people with physical disabilities, how do they feed? What kind of work do they do?
Well, persons with disabilities, we are just like every other persons in the society. It's just that, of course, when the issue of employment is hitting the ordinary person, you should know that it will hit a person with disability times 2. That is basically how it's going to be. When persons with disability, when the ordinary persons are faced with hunger, it's going to be times 2 for us, and that is basically how it is. So, for us persons with disabilities, majority of us, are into creative works. We are able to have our own work that we do, and very few of us are lucky to be employed into the government agencies. So that is how we roll.
Okay, interesting. So this Salvation Army Rehabilitation Center, how often do you people have your meetings in this place?
We hold our meetings every first Sunday of the month.
And how is the meeting like? Do they get to respond? Do they get to discuss with you the things they need, their challenges?
Yeah. one of our aim, the aim of the meeting is first and foremost to have a common voice, to have a common voice, and also to to try as much as possible to help ourselves. You know, you can see what I'm hearing now. This is one of our major fights that we are into now.
Can you please read it?
I support a disability law. We are we are clamoring for a disability law, because we know that the Nigerian Constitution does not really attend to the issues of disability. So we are clamoring separately for a disability law and a disability commission for persons with disability in Edo State. Many states have already gotten that law.
Okay. Now, whenever you have your meetings, your town hall meetings, do you have doctors come in to check them on a daily basis, or is it weekly or monthly basis?
No.
What
we do is sometimes an NGO can write and say they want to come and do a general check. We have to it must not be on our meeting day. We have to take a separate day to come and do that. There are some NGOs that have come to conduct maybe hepatitis test and even eye tests, this and all of that tests. They will just come with their doctors and do tests for all our members. And you know, when we hold our meeting, they come from various local government too. So people from other local government also come to hold our meetings here. And because it's once in a month, after when we hold our meeting, we put our problems bare, and then find a solution to how we can solve our problem.
All right, interesting. I'm really happy about this conversation, and it's important that you get to pour it all out, because people are listening, and that is why we're here for the support. You know. All right, now, how often do they get medicines? Do your people get medicines? Maybe if they have any ailment, like maybe they are sick, away from their physically challenged problems. So how often do they get medicines?
I would say not very often.
Not often.
Not very often, because the last one that was done was even we are now in June. The last check that was done was in around that kind November last year.
Oh, that's a long time.
And we've not had any, because it has to be if interested people have to write to us that they want to, or if they want to assist us, they tell us they want to. We should create a chance. So, but the last one that we did was in around that kind of November last year. We check.
Now, this building, what do you think you people need the most to make things better for yourselves?
For us, persons with disabilities, for the Junapit, first and foremost, you know.
When you say Junapit, can you please explain?
When I say Junapit, then I'm talking about the Joint National Association of Persons with Disability as a whole in Edo State.
Okay, thank you.
Separate from a rehabilitation center.
All right.
For persons with disability, because it's cut across, as I said before, various clusters of disability. For example, what persons with physical disability needs may be quite a little bit different from what the hearing impaired needs. For example, we know that one of the needs of the physically challenged persons with physical disability is mobility. Our primary problem is mobility. How do we move to our place of work from one place without aid? Because that is the most important point of it. We don't need somebody to carry us. We need a means by which to move by ourselves to our place of work and go back to our place of work. If there is, coming down here, I have to drive myself down. I don't need a driver. I don't have to get a driver.
And the kind of car you use is not the normal car that every other person uses. It's especially
compliant, disability compliant car.
All right.
So we need mobility in every strata of mobility, starting from the normal wheelchairs, calipers and clutches. Those are things that make us to maybe the bigger things like the vehicle. Then for the hearing, people with hearing impaired, when we hold our meetings here, one of their major issues they always talk about is empowerment. I said, well, empowerment is general, because when you talk about empowerment now, even the mobility aid is an empowerment aid. But they always say they need the deaf, for example. They are like cut off from. They are just like people that are cut off from what is happening in the society. The news of what is going on, somebody has to interpret it to them, and most times they are interpreters. Their interpreters are that service is always very expensive. Getting an interpreter to interpret for them is always very expensive, except those that are in their schools. When you finish from school, you are now on your own in your various work, and you need an interpreter. When you go to the court, when you go to police station, you need an interpreter. So that is one of their major. Then they also need, there's what we call a hearing aid. Some of them, not all, because those that are totally deaf cannot use the aid. It's only those that are partially deaf that can use the hearing aid. The blind, which we call the visually impaired, they will need things like the braille and synchronized computers. You understand? With which they work, because what they can't see they can feel. So they need that. Then those of them that are in school also, some of them also need scholarship. But that cut across all the clusters of disability. The people with intellectual disabilities, intellectual disabilities are a group that means what we call the slow learners. Their issues are a little bit very, very very expensive, because they need a rehabilitation. Somebody has to rehabilitate them and culture them and groom them, because they learn very slowly until they be able to grow until they get to that point where they be able to decide for themselves. And they also need medical, a very high level of medical attention, because they need they have drugs which they use to treat them. But also that one cut across medical attention, also cut across all strata of disabilities. So from all indications, you say on what we call overview, is that persons with disabilities generally needs empowerment. We need health facilities and maybe we also need some social change which must take place, because as we still speak, some parents still who give birth to persons with disabilities hide their children, and they don't bring them out. So we still need that advocacy to change the mindsets of people to accept persons with disability the way they are. I think that is just
Thank you so much. All right, now have you heard about the Edo Development Aid?
I think I've heard from you.
Okay, this is the first time you're hearing about us. Interesting. So I'm glad to let you know that the Edo Development Aid, we are here to support you and support this organization, and we're here to find out what we can do to make life easy and better for you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Edo Development Aid is owned by a Benin man, and it's a company in the UK, and their work is to support people, support Edos in Edo State and in diaspora, to help people have a better life. That is why we're here.
We are very grateful. We are grateful on behalf of the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities and the disability community in Edo State in general. We want to say thank you, Edo
Development Aid.
Yes. For I will know for what you are here to do, because I know that you have line up of supports that we are going to give to the Jonapid and its subsidiaries. Thank you very much.
All right, we have been talking to Mr. Henry Ebose, the chairman of Jonapid, Edo State.
You might not show people where strong man grave dead. This life is so fragile, now they use and play. Non na gwala fe, ese nok bae, eke non na kede, hey nok bae. Seven no fly not to most but first class of work be say. Eru New York not a body but who ye mo aware. My no can jar no ta we say 7. Madam match color with the quality prefer. Igwa man see me ma osadu ogo me. Vaye agbe cinema, agbe cinema. Now you man show people where strong man grade. His life is so fragile, now they use and play.